morning, and I'm
Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Just real shout out plug. If you guys have not had the opportunity to go down and vote, make sure you guys do that today, right? Today is the last day, right? So we want to make sure that we all do our duty as being citizens of this amazing country. That we go ahead and do our due diligence and vote today. All right, I have some amazing women in the building with me, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited. I have my girl, Miss Ari Wells, and my girl, DeRay Henderson. Let's go ahead and give them some love. All right. Okay, because your girl does her own sound effects. So I'm so excited to have you guys both on the show. I thank you, Queens, for taking time out of your busy schedules because I know that you both have so much that you guys are doing. I do want to take a moment to have both of you kind of introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your background. We'll start with Ari first.
Hello, everyone. So I am Ari Wells. I am the owner of Levels of Freedom, LLC. I am also the author of Girl, You're Free. That is on Amazon. If you do not have a copy, go check that out. I'm also a registered nurse, and I am considered me your all-around freedom coach.
I love it. That's my girl right there. She says she's doing lots of things. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mr. Reed, would you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hello, hello. Get up, get lit. Hey, it's your girl, T.R.I.V.I.A. Henderson. I am the author of Living in the Spirit of Joy and Get Up, Get Lit, Live Intentionally Today. I am your empowerment coach, Coach Lit. I am here to ignite your joy while living intentionally. Okay, let's go.
I'm loving it. See, I'm already tapped in. The ladies already gave them a lot of energy, so your girls already tapped into what's going on. In case those of you who don't know, these two amazing women are going to be part of this dynamic event that's going to be happening right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on December 8th. That's right. If you haven't gotten your tickets, ladies, this is the time to go ahead and do so. So she planted, she watered, she bloomed. Get up and go, girl. Empowerment luncheon. I first want to ask both of you, because I put out a speaker call and I was trying to figure out who would be some women who would love to be able to provide some insight, to share some tips, some strategies, to provide some insights, and also give a little transparency in their own walk to be able to uplift, motivate, encourage, and inspire women. And both ladies were interested. So first of all, let me say thank you to that. I'm just happy that you guys were able to answer the call. But I want to know, what was it about this particular call that made you say, you know what, this is something that I definitely want to give light to, something I want to lend my voice to. Doreen, let's start first with you.
Okay, so let's talk about it. I had just finished a course, a coaching, a public speaking course. It was a 2-hour course, and I'm not new to public speaking, but I always want to make sure that I am increasing my craft, right? And so at the class, she said, say yes to every opportunity to speak. And so I was like, oh, okay, all right, we'll see. And I'm telling you, I came home and it was probably within that couple of days, I saw that pop up. And I'm like, what is this? And when I saw it and I said Milwaukee, I was like, Milwaukee? I said, okay, let me see. I said, you know what? I was gonna see if they playing. So that's when I just and I think I was on one of my other pages when I responded to it. I said, let me just see if they're going to respond to this. But I truly believe it's God ordained to do it. It's God ordained to do it. It's time. He already said he was going to increase my territory. The thing about it is we just don't know how he's going to do it, but we must prepare to do it. So I'm so excited. I thank you so much for accepting my my on live application, which took like 4 or 5 times to do. I just kept deleting it. And it's so funny. I can just go ahead and start talking. And I've done podcasts. I've had one for a few years. And I got on that live and I said, girl, what is you doing? I said, you know what? The lady is going to deny you. Do you hear me?
Not at all. Not at all, Queen.
But I'm so excited and full of joy.
I love that. And I love the transparency, because sometimes we think that people are just out here doing all the things and there's no barriers that we also have to climb and reach. And so I want to thank you for just being being willing to be a blessing and just being able to use your voice on such an important topic when we're talking about women's empowerment. My girl Ari Wells, I want to know, what was it about this particular call that made you say, you know what, okay, I'm definitely going to be able to lend my voice, my expertise, my platform to this amazing event?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us on here on your show, Unapologetically Unplugged. I love the name of this in general. But two, you my girl. So whatever you doing, you rocking, I'm rolling. That's how this goes. So
you already know we down like 2 flats.
I didn't really need a whole lot of details. It's like, Chanelle, I'm rocking. Let's go. What you need?
So same way, same energy. So
that was first. But secondly, the thing, if anybody don't know Chanelle is all things about empowering women to go do all the things that they're called to do. If you don't know that about her, you ain't been around her that long. Couldn't have been, because that's her personality. And so with that, I appreciate that so much about her. The tagline for it that said, "Get up and go." Girl, I was like, whoa. I was like, that's the piece that stuck for me, because that's the call to action. Because it's one thing, to be, playing at everybody. Typically you will go through those seasons. Sometimes you're isolated in certain seasons because you're being processed, you're growing, you're learning whatever is needed in that transformation process, and then you're blooming. And then once you're blooming, it's like, okay, you bloom, but you didn't bloom just to be blooming. Like, you blooming, and then there's action that needs to happen after that. And so that call to action to get up and go, because so many times we can just kind of lay there, like, this happened and now I'm just gonna lay because this took me out. And sometimes it can feel like that, but you don't stay sitting in that. And so that get up and go girl part was it for me. I was like, yeah, that part.
Talk about it, sis, because you definitely have to be about action. We know we're talking about a little bit about where you guys are now, the different things that you guys were able to do, both as speakers, as authors, as businesses, as brands, coaching. Also, Ari also has her business on the side, aside from the things that she does as being a registered nurse. But I want to talk about a time when we had to make a transition or a pivot in life. I think sometimes people just see people doing amazing things and assume that life is always, worked out according to plan, or there were no hiccups in the road. There was nothing that this person had to make a transition or even develop resiliency from. So, I want to start first with you. Can you tell us about a point in time in life where you had to make a transition, or a space in life where you had to pivot? You wanted to get here and you were there, but you knew that there were some things that you were going to have to do. Just kind of walk us through what your transition period looked like.
Okay, like today when you asked me to come on here, I'm pivoting every day. Okay,
talk about it.
Who doesn't pivot? Okay, so and I did want to add the get up and go part. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ari. I laughed so bad because the title of my second book is Get Up, Get Lit. So when I saw that, I said, oh, that's for me. I said, okay, it's time for me to go share. See, I just take the littlest things and I just be like, okay, Lord, this is a sign. This is all about. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so pivot. Let's talk about it. This whole direction that God has me in, sharing my testimony about living in the spirit of joy. Annually I have a book fair called the Citywide Book Fair. Is the 4th year, and let's talk about, I had to write my new book Get Up and Get Lit in 24 hours 2 weeks before the fair.
What?
So and in that I had my coach who I went through the program for an empowerment coach. He did a call as well. He said, "Hey, I want to see how many coaches I can get so we can write a book." And so in that, as soon as the book fair was over, I was right into writing a chapter for that book, and that was within 2 weeks. And then I saw this call, and now I have to prepare this message. That's about 15 minutes. Um, we have to prepare ourselves for the pivot. I truly believe, sometimes people say, well, it looks like you're doing so much. And I say, no, I'm not doing so much. I'm finally listening and answering the call and saying yes. See, the things that I'm doing now, he probably called me to do 20 years ago, but I was
Talk
so
about it.
out of focus and doing what I needed to do. God is not going to put too much on you, but he's not going to continue to tap you on the shoulder if you keep saying no. So when you start saying yes, the door is open for so much and what he already has ordained before the foundation of the world, before you were even here. And I was having this conversation with him because I talk to him all day, every day. And I said, Lord, I said, you have, what did I say? I said sometimes people are in the season, and this is a question I have for you ladies as well. Have you ever been in the season where it seems like every time you said something, he answered? It was like you asked for this and it came, and you asked for that and it came. And I said, oh my God, Lord, every time I've asked for something, you have said yes. And he said, I'm saying yes because you said yes, because you have put yourself in the position. I never say no, but sometimes we're out of the position. You have put yourself in the position to see all the blessings coming to you, to see the work, right? And I said, well, that's the pivot. When we understand that the position you may have been in when you thought that season was so horrible, think back in that season, what he asked you to do and you did not do. So I hope that answered the question.
Girl, it answered the question for me. It's all my heart and my conscience is clear. Let me just say that. And touch on a couple of things for me too. So I definitely appreciate the transparency and the share. Ari, I'm going to ask you the same question. I like some of the points that we brought up, in making that pivot. Sometimes in life we can say no. God can have those opportunities or different things for us, and then we're saying no. And then when we begin to say yes, it can seem like the floodgates are opening and all these things are happening. You've done a pivot in a very short amount of time. Just with everything that we were doing from January to now, it's been like a whirlwind. What has the pivot been like for you, and how are you in being able to encourage others in their season of pivot?
So first of all, that word pivot has been my word this whole year. Like, that was my word for this year that God gave me, was pivot. And so literally that's all that has been happening in my life, for sure. I think that in this pivot there were some ups and some downs. There were some things that made me cry. There were some things that made me overly excited. I was like, yes, saying there were ebbs and flows like the whole time. But the thing that has remained has been my freedom in Christ. That's what has remained. That has not changed. My position in him, I think this last year, with everything great that happened and even the things that didn't, I think that it was all to show me that my position in him doesn't change. There's no time and space with anything that's happened in which God changed his mind about me, even when sometimes I doubted whether I could do it or not. He didn't change his mind about what he put in me because he know me. The scriptures say he knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb.
Yes.
So he already know what you're very, very capable of doing. We usually don't. And so I feel like this year I caught up to where I'm starting to see, and I see myself. I say that because it's a process, it's a journey of seeing me the way he sees me. And in that, it makes you walk, it shifts how you walk in the room. It shifts how you're interacting with other people. It shifts what I feel like I need to tolerate. It's just shifted so many things. And so it has become like all the outside external stuff is great. Like I've been able to speak and do some things and amazing. But the thing that I am the most excited about is the solidness I feel like I have inside. That part has given me so much just completion in a way, if that makes sense, and freedom, and being able to walk the things I'm talking about. Because if I'm telling you to get free and I'm telling you to be all that you are, and I'm telling you break the chains and do all the stuff, I'm not walking that, it's a different space to be in. And so it feels really good to be able to be like, yep, I'm walking with you, girl. When I'm saying get up and go and I'm saying it to you, I'm also telling myself get up and go. And so in that encouragement, it's locking arms with the sister next to you to be like, come on, we got this, and we're gonna like walk this together. And then allowing him to bring people in my company that are going in the same direction, because I had to pivot friendships, I had to pivot the way I was approaching my marriage, I had to pivot how I was approaching being a mom, I had to pivot like all those different things. I have had to pivot how I'm being a bonus mom, what that looks like, working, what that looks like, you know, making sure I'm not finding my identity in the thing that I do at work, because that's easy to do too. So it's just been lots of shifting of your mindset. You know, the Greek word for that is metanoia, and it tells you to change your mindset. Like that is where they get like repentance from. But it's really a change, a shift of your mindset and your perspective. And then when you're able to do that, all these other things come about, because now it's not so much that they changed, you changed. And
Talk about it.
That's how I feel.
So we're gonna preach and teach on today. Come on, I'm with it. Okay, first of all, let me say I love the answers. I love the part where especially where you kind of talked about how God's ability to remain constant in states where we are inconsistent, far from being constant and dependable. He is just still steadfast, and that's one of the traits about God that I adore most, because I never have to worry about him changing. And no matter how much I may change and grow, and in some places be stagnant, God is always still the same, and he's always there to continue to lead and to guide and to push and to prompt you in the spaces and places that he has already ordained for you. T.R.I.V.I., I wanted to ask you and talk to you both about, as women, I think that there's something just inherently intrinsic with us to be able to know that we have to show up for everybody else. If we all had, a blazing S on our chest, I think nobody would be surprised that's a woman. You just feel like you need to come and put the cape on and to swoop in and to save the day. And so many times we're putting out fires and things for everyone else that we don't take the time to be able to work on and to pour back into and to say yes to the things that God has called us into. There was a time that I said no to myself. I said no to my calling. I said no to my purpose, scared to walk into this. I felt like if I was afraid, if I was scared, then I didn't need to do that thing that God had called me to do because I'm afraid. And I had to recognize that, fear does not give me permission to be able to stay stagnant. And so I have to continue to move. And so sometimes I have to be willing to do it scared. When you guys first began to say yes to yourself, what was that epiphany or that aha moment for you when the light came on, when you had to understand that it became necessary for you to take care of you in order for you to take care of all the other things that you're managing? T.R.I.V.I., let me start first with you.
Okay. Yes, and I'm going to say, it's so funny you said the S and that cape. I think I was just telling someone, I can't remember who I was telling. I said, but I'm gonna need you to take that cape off. I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to take that cape off. Let's talk about it. Superheroes don't wear their capes and they do their superpowers all the time. It's a time to rest. It's a time to be normal, right? So let's not think we gotta wear that cape all the time. It's not going to help us. It's going to actually hinder us, and then we will forget who we truly are, and what we're called to do. Fear is ammunition. I tell you, fear is ammunition. Do it scared, please do. Because that's really no failure. It's lessons learned. Because in the kingdom, what does it say? We are more than overcomers. The victory is already won. if you have to say that to yourself 100 times a day, say it so you'll understand that you never fail. That just didn't work, but you didn't fail, right? Because you attempted, you went forth, you tried it, you said, here I am, God, use me. So it's a lesson learned. For myself, it's very important to try to make sure you're taking care of yourself, because and for me, my system would just shut down because I do not know how to recognize stress. So I had two instances years apart where my body just shut down to where I couldn't walk. I was going to the hospital. I was trying to figure out what was going on with me. They did all the tests. They tried to say, they tried to tell you you have everything, take all these blood tests, and you come back and they can't find anything. They can't find anything. And I had to learn that my body, some people lose hair, some people gain weight, some people know when they're stressed because I guess the way he created me, I'm gonna go get it. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and and reluctantly do it when my body is saying no, or doing so much that I don't realize that I'm leaving myself last. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not eating right. And I'm not doing, exercising, doing things for myself. And as our body mature, we start to need different things. You can't have the same thing in your 20s that you can have in your 50s, right? And so when you're just moving and shaking and thinking you're doing everything you need to do and you forget your body has a way to tell you no, to slow down. So I think it's very important because I was just saying this. I'm like, if something happens to where your body shuts down, you have to sit down for a while, you can't do exactly what he needs you to do, we're out of order. If I'm out of order and I'm assigned to you, then I make you out of order. And then if you're out of order and you're assigned to someone else, so everything is shifted, it's out of order. Now we're going back and we got to wait all the way until I finally get it. And then that hinders you. That hinders whoever I'm assigned to, because we are assigned to people. And just as people are assigned to us, we have assignments here on the earth. And God is like, I need you to complete your assignment. But it's things that we have to do ourselves to make sure that we do complete the assignment, and taking care of ourselves and not being selfish, thinking, well, if I sit down for a moment, or if I pull back from this, or if I can't help you on this project this time, but when it comes back around, here I go, girl, we're hindering what we're supposed to be doing for the person we're assigned to, if that makes any sense.
Makes perfect sense, sis. And I was going to comment on what Tanya said. She said, no failures, lesson learned. Just kind of reiterating what you said in that point. I think it was a powerful thing. And I think as women, we all can relate in various ways because we've all been stretched thin, right? And no matter how our body or our system or circumstances present itself, ultimately we're going to have to deal with that thing that's that stressor, right? Either we're going to deal with it or it's going to deal with us. But one way or the other, the thing is going to come to head. And so, Ari, I know that something that you're going to say is going to be prolific on talk on this top of this subject about saying yes to yourself. I want to know what that looked like for you. What the moment that you recognized that you needed to say yes to yourself, and that yes needed to be bold, that yes needed to be daring, that yes needed to be unapologetic.
Honestly, it was tearful. I was like scared to death. And the reason why was because I knew I was given a yes and what that was going to require me to give up. And sometimes when you don't know what's on the other side of the stuff that you've gotten so used to doing, people you're used to being around, or that you just simply enjoy, and you realize that when you say yes, when you're saying yes to God, you may not have you may not keep all of those things. You may not keep all of the people. People may not understand what what you're doing, or why when you move it's gonna look different now, and you changing your environment and doing all the things because you want to make sure you're in a space where you're doing what he's calling you to go do. And so it was scary. I definitely grieved relationships that were lost. I grieved the changes, people not being able to accept the ways in which I was changing. Like grieve those things. So it wasn't all pretty, but on the other side of that was this that sense of completion, like I'm saying, just understanding that like I'm God's daughter and he got me and it's okay. And he gonna bring me everything I need as long as I continue to just keep, I'm just gonna keep walking with him. And it's not a conditional thing, but just that I'm gonna listen. And because I'm listening to him and I'm in him, then in that comes everything that I need, everything that pertains to life and godliness, everything that pertains to the things that I'm gonna have to go do. He's already equipped me for it. It's already inside. And so as you walk, then your walk get a little bolder. You start to talk a little different. You walking a little different. You start to apologize for yourself less.
Talk about it.
In certain spaces, and you become more okay with the fact that like, hey, everybody not gonna love me on this level, or I may not be. One of the pastors in my church says like, I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's cup of tea. It's that part, because whoever's cup of tea I am, that's who I'm supposed to be with. And so with that, I think those were just like some of the like major lessons of just accepting me. Like it's all good. It's all good because God said I'm good. That's why. So, and just leaving it at a period after that and not saying I'll be good if this or when I do that. It has nothing to do with those things. You just good because he made you good. And that's just what it is.
Talk about it. So I'm feeling inspired already. I don't know about y'all, but this conversation is definitely getting good. We're here talking with my girl T.R.I.V.I. Henderson and Ari Wells. They are in the building talking to us a little bit about their own life and the different transitions that they've had to make on the call that God has had upon their life. And also they're going to be giving us a few gems that they'll be talking to us at the She Planted, She Watered, She Bloomed, Get Up and Girl empowerment luncheon that's going to be taking place right here in the beautiful city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, December 8th, 2024. If you guys haven't gotten your tickets, make sure that you go over to Eventbrite and pick up your tickets today. This part in our story, ladies, we're going to just take a moment to take our cups. I like the fact that, when you see seasons change, when you look outside and you begin to look at the trees, you see the trees, the leaves are either changing colors and the leaves are falling off and it may look like it's death, but as we see the season go through fall into winter and then we hit spring, we begin to see that there is newness of life, that there is restoration, that there is peace. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we are allowing to fall off of us in this season. So ladies, if you have your glass, go ahead and lift it up. We're going to take a pause for the cause and just have ourselves a drink, all right? And we're going to talk about what we're allowing to fall off. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love drinking stuff. I'm a juice addict, so I had to incorporate that into my thing because the girl be needing juice. Just 1 second. One more sip. If we don't have juice, it's a problem. Let me say that. Let me start there. So let's talk about this fall season. When you think about the things that in this season God is requiring you to release, what does that look like for you, T.R.I.V.I.?
Woo, okay, so I'm releasing grief in this season. And I have already released it. But it's strategies to that. So I'm releasing grief in this season. Not only for the loss of someone, but the loss of the old me. It's the shedding, right? We have to understand that we are not the same people. Each and every day you wake up, you are renewed. You're able to make that decision to try to stay in the same place. I try to tell people when people say, oh, that's just me, I've been like that for years. No, you've been stuck there for years. You have chosen that for years. But our skin cells renew.
Yeah.
Skin cells fall off. Our skin changes, our eyes changes. It's so much change. Our hair, it's so much change that we endure that we pay no attention to each and every day of our life. But we want to hold on to something that is dead, that's not going to progress. So shedding off the past. Leave it where it's at. You cannot get, I can't get the 5 seconds back I just gave to you.
Talk
It's
about
gone. And if you didn't receive it and I didn't learn from it, it's gone. I got right now, but right now turns to then. It's gone. You know what I'm saying?
real fast.
We don't know what's in our future. We can only try to work toward it, but there's no guarantee we're going to get it. So, what can you do right now, right today? What assignment are you on? Are you hearing his voice?
Mm.
You know, peace thieves.
Mm.
You can't have a peace. That's in my book, Living in the Spirit of Joy. I said you cannot have joy when you have a peace thief. And
Yeah.
it's so many different peace thieves that's in our lives that we have no idea. So pay attention to people that come around and they just want to take, suck, not give anything back. And as coaches, empowerment coaches, or mentors, we got to understand that we encounter peace thieves that we cast that care.
Mm.
We have to cast. The word says, "Cast your cares to Him." I can't keep all of that what you're trying to give me, and then I
Mhm.
have to cut you short of everything you're trying to take from me. If that makes any
Oh,
sense.
that hit home for me. That resonated with me. I'm gonna let Ari pick up on it. Ari just talking about this, the season of releasing, and what is it that you are releasing right now in this season? What is God, putting on your heart?
Forgiveness has been a big thing.
Mm.
Because forgiving me sometimes for decisions that I made that I realize now, like, oh boy, like, why did I do that? Or why I let that person in, or, what I'm saying, I didn't ask God about that one. Like, just having them real conversations with yourself, like, you know what? You didn't. And I had did it anyway. And okay. So forgiveness, that way, forgiving people who may have hurt me,
Mm.
whether that was intentional or unintentional. And so that forgiveness thing has been a big deal for me in this season. I think that's kind of been the shedding of, because the old Ari was a petty Betty,
Baby.
and you crossed me, and I'm gonna make sure I'm the last one you crossed. But when you are when you say yes to God,
Mm.
you can't move like how you used to move. The old you no longer exists. You are a new creation in Christ. And so that's the old Ari, and she ain't coming back. She gone. She gone. So in those moments where I may feel like somebody is getting over on me, or I feel like, oh goodness, like I'm just being a punk now, because Ari, we would have been knucking and bucking, like this would have been a wrap, like this ain't going. It's not that. It's just a sense of, I know that I've yielded, and I know that my Father can handle it now. I don't need to go try to handle it. And so that S that I frequently wore as like a badge of honor, because I'm like, yes, whatever, that I don't need it. I don't need it, and I don't want it, and I'm uninterested. I'm totally uninterested. I ain't about to be nobody's superwoman. I don't want that. Jesus did it. Go to Him. Don't come to me for that. No. Totally uninterested at this point in life. Like, because I tried that and it ain't worked. And I'm not one that's going to keep trying something that did not work out at all. So that's where I'm at.
I'm so sorry. My technology started glitching. I'm like, I heard you talking. I'm like, wait a minute, stopping up. But what I want to say is that I resonated so well with what both points were. I'm about shedding, and releasing and letting go of things, the past, and even forgiveness. Because I think in my walk, sometimes I can be my hardest critic. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to rough me up, good enough that I don't need anybody else to come do it, because Chanelle going to take care of it herself. And sometimes, we're holding on to pieces of our past that are preventing us from having forward progression, and that's why the word talks about forgetting the things that are behind us and pressing towards the mark for the prize in God and Christ. And I see Vanessa, our girl, she is talking about some amazing things. I'm so excited to see Vanessa joining us. She couldn't be on set with us today, but we definitely thank Vanessa for tuning in. She's going to also be one of our another amazing speakers at the She Planted, She Watered, She Bloomed Get Up and Go Girl Empowerment Luncheon. I can't wait to have her in the space. And again, we're going to be over at King Hall in Milwaukee. So, guys, make sure you guys go overhead and get your tickets. My next question, ladies, both of you are authors. And I want you guys to kind of share with us a point from your book. Give us a little bit of background of what inspired you to write it. And then tell us a little bit, just give us a little brief, snippet of what you plan on talking about on December 8th. So, Doree, let's start first with you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I have three publications. And so at the event, I will be talking about Get Up, Get Lit, Live Intentionally Today. That is my second publication, and it's all about living intentionally today. God God gave me this like in the pandemic. He gave me this in the pandemic. He was like
Okay.
because I was so rebellious, and that's a whole nother thing. I was so rebellious at the plan in the pandemic, y'all. And so and it was rebellious to the world, but I was listening to what God was telling me, and we're not in this world. We're not of this world. We're just in it. That's what I'm going to say. And God was showing me that. And it was such a spirit of fear. And I tell you, I did not have that spirit of fear. So it was like something was wrong with me. And so God was just showing me, no, that he was preparing me and that he had been preparing me for this. And so I was like, they trying to shut us down. What we gonna? I'm like, nah. You know what? What live today? It was like that. It was just like in my head. It was like live today. So what you gonna do today? What you gonna do today? If you cannot do anything tomorrow, what is your plan for today? What does God have for you today? And I was, with the spirit of joy, I was, I'm always called, I would say stuff when people say I'm doing this or whatever, like for real, Chanelle, I was like, if you tell me about this, I'll be like, girl, get lit. That was what I would say all the time. And you know what lit mean, you know what I'm saying? Get fired up. And so that's what I thought it meant, but God was preparing me for the acronym. So I would say get lit to everything. Like people just come like, y'all better get lit. Why you saying, why you this, why you that? I was just ball of energy. People like, girl, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? So, you too much, and it was like, okay, I didn't care, right? And so I was sitting and God was just talking to me about something, and then I just was like, get up, get lit. And I said, Lord, what is lit? I said, I keep saying this. I know what it says in the dictionary, but I know you have something else. And I was like, let me see an acronym. And I just started, and he gave me Live Intentional Today. And I'm like, it hit. And that was in 2021. And so I knew the call of it. But I had no idea I was going to write a book about it. Now I just knew when I was speaking to someone what I was telling them to do. And so it kind of turned it around. It was like now I was able to minister after I told him to get lit. You know what I'm saying? I was able to minister to him. And so when it was time for me to write the book, and God had instructed me that I was going to have a book for this book fair, but of course I was out of order. I was too busy doing everything else. And when he told me to write this, he gave me 24 hours to write it. God showed me everything. And one thing I want to share is about purpose. There's no way you can live intentionally today if you do not know what your purpose is. And that is what I cannot wait to share. Something I just hold dear to my heart, and I'm gonna say because for 20 plus years I just wandered the earth, and it's people out here just existing. They are not living. And living is more than making money, paying your bills, going on trips, thinking you're living your best life. No, that's not living if you do not know the reason you were created. We were created by the greatest creator, and we have an assignment. Do you know what that is?
Girl, I love it. I'm telling you, you had me at lit, okay? Because first of all, your girl loves acronyms. I'm just in that kind of season. So when you said acronym, I'm like, I'm there. I'm already booked in. I'm already inside. I'm already invested. I love it. Ari, same question. When you think about your book, the inspiration behind it, What's a tip or a strategy or insight that you want to provide from it? And what points are you going to leave with the women at the empowerment luncheon?
So my book that's on Amazon, Girl You're Free, is literally my journey. It's my testimony to freedom. It tells my story. And part of my story was getting free from religion, getting free from expectations, getting free from a marriage that did not mean me well at all. Just all the different things, free from rejection, from all the different things that we experience, and things that I experienced growing up. And then you get an opportunity to kind of journal those in some of those same areas that I experienced as well. And so that's the journey that my book takes you on. And that just came from, I had gotten, because now it's been, I don't know, probably it's been like 10 years, something like that now. But I was chained to so much stuff. It was ridiculous. Like, looking back now, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you not lose your mind when you chained to all this stuff? Because you got to think about, if somebody got chains on your feet, your ankles, your hands, and then you walking on top of it, and they chain the anvils, and like the anvils that was off like the cartoons back in the day, and they used to fall on the cartoon sometimes. Think like that, and hooked to, and all of that is chained to your arms, your legs. Like, where are you going? You so stuck. You so stuck at that point. But sometimes we get used to having them. And you think that they're supposed to be there, or you think that that's what God is requiring from you. And so part of my assignment, I know here in this season, is to make sure that women understand you don't have to be chained up. Like, you got the key in your hand already. All you got to do is unlock them and take them off. It's up to you. And so that's the space. I don't know exactly what God's gonna do, but he definitely gonna give me the words of what to say to my sisters and his daughters, because they ultimately belong to him. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just the mouthpiece.
Talk about it. She said, I'm just a vessel up in here getting ready to have the stuff poured in so I can pour out. I love it. On instant download. Sometimes there might be people listening and they might be thinking, I don't know if this event is for me. Tell her who this event is for. Like, sometimes you need to hear like things that that if this thing is for you. So when you're going to be speaking as one of our empowerment speakers on that day, who is your talk geared for? Who is the person that needs to hear what you're getting ready to say?
Can I go?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Ari.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, because this is how I am every day. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We unapologetic around here. Think you have it all together? Please come, because you probably the main one that need it. If you feel like you are buttoned up, tightened up, got all your stuff, you done checked off all the boxes, ain't nothing going on with you, you got everything in order, this is definitely for you. Because the way that you are potentially living life is that you have made yourself righteous at that point. And so how are you going to go do what God called you to do if you already think you got it all together? Because none of us have it all. That's no. And you can have it all, but you're going to have it all in him. So do you know that you're in him? So your identity piece, or are you getting your identity from people, places, and things outside of what God tells you? So if you can identify with any of them things, where your degrees, titles, background, how you was raised, where you live, what you look like, makeup you got on, clothes, shoes, belts, purses, all that make you think you just, ain't no way it's not wrong, this is definitely for you.
I love it. T.R.I.V.A, same question. Where God is leading you with this conversation that we're going to be having on December 8th. Who is your talk geared to, or who's going to benefit from hearing it?
The woman who is tired of empowerment and ready to get equipped. I think sometimes we're saying empowerment, but we're equipping ourselves. Like, even in the live video, I said, are you prepared for what God has for you in 2025. And with Ari, what you're saying with the one who believes she is, she probably isn't. And so, but I'll be speaking to the one who really does not know. They have no idea. They don't. And they're kind of, I've been to this empowerment. I've been there. They said this. They showed me this. They were all pretty. They had everything together, and I'm still lost. No, well, you need to come here to get equipped, because it said get up.
Baby,
So
talk about it.
you don't get to sit down anymore.
Talk about it.
You don't get to sit down. You got to get up and go. And that's the thing. I think we get empowered to sit down and do nothing. No, let's get equipped to get up and go. That's who we're speaking to, because you have something to do for 2025, 26, 27. You got something to do tomorrow. You're lucky it's not tomorrow. Okay,
Talk
but it's
about it.
December 8th. Okay.
Come on,
So
baby. Talk about it.
prepare yourself for that. Get equipped to do the assignment that God has for you, no matter if you have it all together, psych, like Ari said, you believe you do, or if you are so stuck and you're lost and you feel like, I don't know the next step. I don't know how to get there. Let us equip you. That's more than empowering you. That's giving you the tools. That's giving you the nuggets. That's putting the stuff in your box, in your makeup bag, and whatever you carry, honey, so you're able to pull out when it's time for you to go ahead and do what God called you to do.
Talk about it, sis. I'm ready to go right now. It ain't even a day. But I'm all excited from the conversation. You know what? I love the energy. I love the dynamics. I know that on December 8th that women are going to be poured into. I know women are going to be seen. I know women are going to be valued. I know women are going to be checked a little bit. I know women are going to be comforted. I know women are going to be pushed past their limitations to be able to access their purpose. And so I'm just going to say, Milwaukee, get ready, get ready, get ready, because she is about to go down. I'm excited because we're definitely going to be providing actionable tips, strategies, things that women are going to be able to take with them. It's not just about hearing some great information and not having anything or any way to be able to make those things tangible and practical for you to be able to go ahead and live life in a different way than what you previously lived it before. My talk this talk is for the women who are saying, you know what, I don't know, what I want to do or where I'm supposed to move to, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling like I can't truly walk out in my purpose. I'm questioning my time. I'm questioning God's calling. I'm questioning his purpose. I'm questioning my abilities, and I don't know what I should do. I understand that I should be doing something, but I can't really figure out what that thing is supposed to be. It's for the woman who's feeling like she wants to take action, and she's questioning when she should take action or how she should take action. This thing is for women who want to be poured into, who want to be loved on, women who want to be pushed, women who want to be able to be embraced, and also women who want to find community, right? Community in a space, in a place, with time, with women who are doing the things that they want to do. Because God has us in these spaces so that we can help others take that next step. We're not just in these spaces for us to be in these spaces. We're in these spaces because we are our sister's keeper. And our job as women is to not to just run ahead of the next woman and, leave her behind, but it's to reach back and it's to look back. And one thing I love about coordinating and connecting with Black women, all women in particular, but especially my Black sisters, is, the relay race. So many times when you see people together, you feel like, we're in a competition and we're all lined up on this line and we're all trying to race. But one thing I love about the relay race is that each woman is in position. She knows what her job is, whether or not she's starting it off, whether she's the second leg, third leg, or if she's going to be the anchor, right? She understands what the call is. She understands what she's supposed to do. She understands what her timing is supposed to be like. She's rooting for the sister that's running ahead of her, right? Right as she's passing and preparing to get the baton passed to her, and she's checking and she's running her best race. She's not running in competition with her sister. She's simply running her best race. And so, ladies, If y'all ready to see some ladies running their best race, I'm about to talk about it back. Y'all want to make sure y'all don't miss it on December 8th. But before we get ready to get out of here, I want to take a moment to just to first of all thank you again, ladies, for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Again, I want you guys to tell them who you are, and again, tell them how they can stay connected with you and about your book. I'm assuming, Deborah, that your book is available on Amazon too, or is it just on your website? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pass it over to T.R.I.V.I. first. Again, tell them who you are. Tell them again that they make sure they need to come talk to you on December 8th, and tell them a little bit
Yes.
about the book and how they can stay connected with you.
Okay, again, I am T.R.I.V.I. Henderson. I am here to ignite your joy with intentional living. I have 2 books right now on Amazon, actually 3, but 2 books on Amazon that you need to have in your possession. Get up and get lit, live intentionally today. And also living in the spirit of joy. They both give you principles on how to live in joy and live intentional today. Okay. I thank you so much for allowing me to come on here and share. This is amazing. I'm so excited for December 8th. You have no idea. I'm telling y'all, I'm a ball of fire. So don't be looking at me crazy when I come up in there lit, okay?
Talk
I'm
about
coming
it.
in there lit already, bringing that joy. I can't wait to look, to dance, to move, to shake, to do all that good stuff. And you're not going to just be able to sit there. You're not just going to be able, you're going to be a part of this also. This is not about just us coming up there and just giving you something. No, you have to have takeaways. You might even have a pop quiz up in there. You better be ready. You hear me? Okay. So I'm excited. You can find my books on Amazon or also go to Dereee, that's DERAEE.com. And I am on social media as Dereee Henderson.
I love it. Make sure you guys go over to Amazon, check out her books. Make sure you guys follow her across socials. Ari Wells, baby girl, tell them who you are. Again, tell them about how they can get Girl You Are Free, right? And go ahead and tell them a little bit of things about what they, again, why they need to see you on December 8th.
I'm so excited to see all the women that are going to be in the room on December 8th. I'm excited. I'm there to speak, but I'm also going to receive as well when I'm not
Talk
speaking,
about it.
because we are never in spaces on accident. Everything is for a reason. And so just like we can teach you some things and we're being vessels, you guys can teach us things as well. And so I'm just excited to be in a room full of women that want to go in a similar direction, even if it don't look the same, but we all got the, same general mindset. And that's why we are there together. That's the place where you want to be at. We know that where we all come together, God is going to be there and he's going to meet us with our expectation there. So I'm super excited for December the 8th. I can't wait until we can all get together. T.R.I.V.I, I can't wait to meet you in person. You better bring your whole full self in the room, girl. Bring your whole self. Now half, all of it. All good. I'm so excited to meet you in person. And then
we're gonna get lit.
Yes. And then we can you can find me on social media, Ari Wells, on everywhere, pretty much LinkedIn, Facebook. If you are on Instagram, it's free to be me 36. And then Girl You're Free is on Amazon. There's a company and journal that'll be coming out soon. And that's that. And I'll be in Milwaukee with you guys.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Again, the name of this event is entitled She Said Yes to Herself presents She Planted, She Watered, She Bloomed. Get up and go, girl. Empowerment Luncheon. You guys don't want to miss it. Make sure you guys stay tuned to T.R.I.V.I.'s Inspirational Radio. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow all of the things across social for T.R.I.V.I.A. And of course, follow your girl, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. I'm going to leave us with this note from this boo right here, titled She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically. And our note for today is, you get what you allow. Here's our affirmation. What's allowed will continue. Remember, what you tolerate today teaches people how to treat you tomorrow. And I think that that's an amazing point. Guys, make sure that you go over, if you haven't done your due diligence, make sure you vote, get out the vote, take somebody else with you to vote. If you didn't do your early ballots and you didn't do it earlier today, make sure you guys do your due diligence and vote on today. Again, ladies, let's go ahead and wave them up out of here. And this has been a real one. We'll see y'all on December 8th.
Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share.